You just tuned it in. Global and worldwide. Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the fighter's voice. The fighter's voice. With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz. And the formidable co-host, Mr. Cole Escovedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Hello, welcome everyone. I'm Richard Ortiz. I'm your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. And you got my co-host with the most, Mr. Cole Escovedo, the Apache Kid. We have a knockout show for you today with a recap of last weekend's boxing and MMA news and events. Top Rank signs a king. Leo Santa Cruz was in cruise control. And bam, just like that. Hector Macho Camacho may have a big name on his comeback. The heavyweights pushed their way into action today in New York City in Madison Square Garden. The future looks heavy in Tulare, California. The future really looks heavy in Fresno, California. Combate America is coming back this Friday, February 22nd, with hometown warrior Princess in the co-main event. But first, we have with us in studio Top Rank's undefeated professional, Fresno's own, with his name on his birth certificate, Mr. ISIDRO Ochoa, who looks spectacular in his last fight in Fresno, California on the ESPN network. Welcome to the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show, my man.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. And a long awaited for you to come here, man. I mean, from the last time to this time, and I said, you're now in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you know what? I know it's been a while since I've been on the radio, but I always see your talk radio show everywhere. You know, YouTube, I subscribe to you, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. I wouldn't be doing it without, my co-host with the most, Mr. Cole Escovedo, man.
Man, you're the travel guy.
I mean, he's making it happen. Yes.
You're going down to travel at the gyms and stuff, man.
We did travel. I can't see that monitor, but it's all good. We did travel, and let's not forget about the freaking, you know what? I want to call him an assassin. I'm talking about KP. This guy is a beast, bro. I mean, I'm going to tell you a story, and we're going to jump into some segments that we have. Because we went yesterday, we're at Riverside, California, where you trained with your trainer, Robert Garcia. Fox Sports Net was there, and they were shooting a documentary with Mikey. And Robert said, okay, let's go. Let's set up and talk about the one-man crew, man. So I didn't even talk to him. I moved out of KP's way and got a table. He just started putting everything together, man. I mean, just if you go there to help, you're just in his way. You know what I mean? So just kind of get out of the way and admire his work, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like when he hits the home run, he don't even look at the ball, man. He just jogging.
Walk
the bases.
off.
Yeah.
So walk off like a knockout. Just keep walking.
Exactly,
no,
man.
I've seen some of those. That makes sense.
No, it does make sense, man. I mean, it's just like when a deer's drinking water and running, you just leave it alone because it's like poetry in motion. You know what I mean?
No, I said it's kind of one of those things where like you're just gonna get in his way.
Yeah.
Like he's just one of those guys where it's like, yeah, he appreciates the help, but really you gotta slow him down.
Yeah,
you don't know whatever he's gonna do next.
Exactly, man. I mean, what slows you down, man? I mean, do you need your space, Isidro?
No, I don't think I need my space. Nothing slows me down, to be honest.
I mean, sure in the heck ain't slowing down in that ring. No, really, bro, you look good. You look slick, man. That's the best that you've ever looked, in my opinion, and also your trainer, Robert Garcia's opinion.
Yeah, I felt like exactly like you said, that was my best performance, but I still believe in my training. I could still perform 10 times better than that.
Well, that's good, man. I mean, that's good. You have that confidence, and you haven't peaked yet, and you haven't arrived yet, and there's still work to be done.
Oh, there's a lot of work to be done still. A lot of work, and we feel like every fight we're just going to improve little by little, but we're going to be improving every fight.
Hey, talk to us about that fight. What was the strategy going in? Because I noticed the body shots were just key in your victory.
Well, our strategy was to go in there and use your jab, find your distance, because he was pretty tall, he was pretty long. So in the first round, that's what I found. I was able to find my jab right away, and I was able to find my distance. And after that, I just started working my combinations.
I noticed there was a couple of times you went conventional. You switched from southpaw to right-handed. You were southpaw throughout the whole fight, and then you switched up right-handed a couple of times. And I saw you land those 3 right hands in a row. I think it was in the 3rd round.
Yeah, that was something I've been working on. Yeah, the short right hands, that's something I've been working on.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, so everything that I did, it was everything that I worked. The whole training camp, everything we worked.
Those right hands, there was no need to load up. They were just right there and just kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel like every punch you throw needs to be hard. Just throw them the right way and it's going to do damage.
It did. It kept him off balance, and it kept you timing. It kept him at bay, as if something to think about.
Exactly. I felt like in the first or second round, I caught him. He found my power and gave me too much respect, and I noticed that, so I just put the pressure.
I noticed you stuck with the game plan. Those body shots. My gosh, I mean, those I've never seen you throw too many body shots like that in a row, but you do have that body shot because it is in your ammo.
Yeah. That's something we've been working on because I felt like my body work, I felt like I've been improving. Jose Ramirez taught me those body shots. You know, I was learning from the best, so I felt like, and I wanted to try it, and I felt like I was catching him, hurting him to the body.
That was going to be my next question, man. I mean, you're in the stable with the who's who in boxing. I mean, that's like if Cole walks into a cage and you have the heavyweight champion of the world, DC was there, then you had Jones there, and then you had Aldo, and you have all these guys there that are the who's who in the MMA. When you walk in Garcia's gym, you have nothing but world champions going in and going out.
That's why it's that old segment of if you're the best guy at your gym, you gotta move on. So when you go into a den where it's like every day you're just going to get your butt kicked by guys way better than you and anybody you're probably going to fight, and if they're kicking your butt and then that slowly starts to get harder and harder for them, like they have to start really kind of like, okay, I got to take this a little more serious now. The more they get pushed back towards they can kind of pick on you, the guys that you're going to fight in your region are just going to get like demolished. They're just going to be nothing because they can't simulate it. If you're done getting your butt kicked by like a John Jones and you go and fight another 45er, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, what can you possibly do to me that Jones didn't already do kind of thing for the last 8 weeks? So, same concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I also feel like the same thing. We have an advantage.
Super
sparring,
advantage.
Yeah, with the sparring. I feel like out there is like, man, the best sparring. Sparring.
And let's talk about that sparring. Leading up to it, you were the sparring partner to, I'm going to let you introduce him.
Oh, Abdul Morris?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and he was getting ready to take on Tank.
Yeah, I feel like he was gonna show out, you know, show himself who he really was. I feel like he had a really good chance to be a Davis. I mean,
well, I mean, he had a better chance than
Hugo Ramirez.
Oh my gosh! I mean, one round he just got blown out. I felt kind of bad for that, but the sport of boxing, he laced him up. He knew what he was getting into, man.
Yeah, I just feel like he wanted to get paid.
You know, sometimes, you know, hey, I'd rather have you say that than myself say that. But you know fighters, you know them inside and out. And I mean, you sparred with them. You even sparred with the likes of let's go pound for pound.
Lomachenko, yeah, that was a good sparring right there too. I feel like Lomo's on a different level than all the other people, guys I spar. Lomo's just a different animal.
Is it just his footwork, his body shots, or just everything?
Just everything about him, his IQ, his field work, everything about him. He's good at what he does.
So I was gonna say, just watching video and footage, like just having people do it. Hey, watch this highlight, watch this, watch that, watch it. It seems like it's a combination of his IQ, definitely. Like he's like 4 thoughts ahead of you. Like he's gonna do this, you're gonna do this, he's gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and then he's gonna hit you 2 or 3 times, and he's gonna do this, and you're gonna be like way back here.
Exactly.
So it's the IQ and then the footwork. I think the footwork is key. The footwork puts him in a position to not necessarily overwhelm, but like just hover over his opponent and just pick his shots at will, and then be gone when they finally say, "Oh, he was over here." He's gone already. It sucks,
bro. Let me try to put this in your concept, in your world. He's like a combination of Dillashaw and Cruz and a little bit of Spider in his prime, just elusive and giving you angles, just making you look bad
there but not there, and then he's always on his feet hot. Too. That's what I'm saying. Guys like TJ, guys like Cruz. Yeah. They could transition into boxing very well. Now, they're not just going to jump in because they're boxing. I look at boxers and then I look at them. I'm like, the striking's different. Their striking's made for movement. Bam, 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 move. They don't want to be there. They don't want to get shot in on. Boxing now, you just take that same footwork that they have, the knowledge, the understanding, and just say, okay, now just plant your weight. Now just plant your weight and churn. Dude, they transition over. The Diaz brothers transition over. Like,
I could see that happening. We're going to talk about the Diaz brothers later on in your segment, Cole's beatdown. Now, after the fight, man, what did Robert tell you after the fight? What did he tell you during the fight to keep doing that it was effective? And then what did he tell you after the fight?
Well, in the corner, he just he kept asking me, how do you feel? Like, I feel good. He goes, man, you're looking good. Just stick to that jab and let your hands go a little more. You know, I feel like before the fight started, we didn't get to warm up. We got no min work or anything.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. My people tell me, yes, that you didn't get any warm up whatsoever.
No, I put my wraps on, I put my gloves, and then they were like, oh, you're next. I had to take my trunks off and put my shorts on, my cup and everything. I was just like, damn, I didn't even
Somebody
know
get knocked
mids.
out too fast or
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
They got
Fights
knocked
went
out
faster. They didn't even just say, okay, give it like 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a rough spot.
Yeah,
that is rough, but rather take the swing early than swing after the fact. That very last one.
That's true, yeah. But man, that not getting warmed up, it can mess with your head. Like it's a psychological thing for a lot of guys. They're like, oh, dude, I didn't get warmed up. Like I'm so conditioned to warm up, then train hard, spar or whatever. It's like you got to get warmed up on the way. I've seen guys like doing push-ups off walls while they're walking down the hallways, jumping lunges, everything. Like they're like, dude, sprint real quick, sprint. Just get your heart rate up. Just because you got to get the heart rate up, you got to try to break that sweat. You got to get going again.
Yeah.
It's like pulling the car out of the garage, man. You can't just go, okay, let's go, kids. Time to go to school.
You got to warm it up.
You got to warm it up.
You got to break something.
I didn't get to warm up. I felt like It wasn't. It was cold. I didn't feel good. Like the first round, I was just like, he goes, "How do you feel?" Like I felt slow. He goes,
Tight.
Tight. He goes, just try to loosen up as much as you can, And then like a second round, I started feeling good, and I started just picking him apart.
Do you think when you cracked him really well and he felt your power and you felt him kind of like pull back on the gun engagement at that point, he didn't want to have a gunfight at that point. Do you feel that led to openings more for the body shots because he was more preoccupied with the thought that every time that shoulder turned, it was probably going to be a headshot, and he didn't want to get hit again, so it just left himself open? Do you think that helped attribute to it? Do you think it was just good timing with the body shots?
No, I think that's what helped me because I felt like he was worried about my power. He was worried to get hit.
Yeah.
And then like I was going upstairs a lot, so he would block upstairs, and I see that body was opening, so I switched to the body.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, you had that little pivot too. I mean, you committed to the body shot.
Oh, I committed to the body real good this fight, I felt too strong for him. I don't know why. He looked too skinny, too small. So I was like, I got to dig the body.
Maybe fighting above a class he should be at, maybe?
No, 122.
Yeah.
I feel good weight for me.
You think it's good for him? Do you think he was just too small for that weight class, maybe?
I think he was good. I'm used to fighting people bigger.
Okay.
So I felt like I had the little advantage.
Well, when you spend 8 weeks around guys who are like 45, 55, etc., there's a lot bigger guys. That's like a 20-pound punching power difference.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly, man. But I'll tell you what, it was exciting because we had we're with the press, we had our credentials, but I like to move back and I like to watch it from a distance sometimes and kind of look into the crowd to see what the fans are saying and their take on it. And there was a lot of people, they didn't know who you were. They just kept calling you Fresno.
Yeah,
but after a while, then they were yelling Ochoa. I mean, because they even started barking. The old Fresno State Bulldogs.
I
man.
knew it was barking.
They were
too.
barking. There was a lot of them out there, and they were yelling Fresno, man.
Yeah, I knew all them that were barking. I knew all those people.
So when you heard that, did it raise your level, your excitement, or did you just stay focused anyways?
No, it did raise my excitement a little bit, but I still kept in my head, you know what? I can just stick to the game plan. Don't let the crowd get to me or anything. Just keep doing what I'm doing. And my corner says I'm doing good. There's no reason for me to change it.
Change it up? No, not at all. Here at the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show, man, I mean, to say, okay, we have locals on there, but you're global. Yourself and Jose Ramirez, Avenal, who's adopted Fresno as his own. But you are born and raised in Fresno, California. So your name is on that birth certificate. I'm always throwing that little segment out there and adding to it. Not taking anything away from anybody else. I appreciate everybody claiming Fresno.
I do too.
But, I mean, we have a lot of talent.
Oh, yes,
we do. In this area, we have a lot of talent. Now, talk to us about some more talent that's coming in. Selma. We're talking about Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy is taking over Selma. And I believe it's going to be, March 1st?
March 1st, yeah, the grand opening. Yeah, our place.
Opening.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. They're working in the gym right now. That's where I'm coming from.
Cool. Robert Garcia, Hall of Fame trainer, has a gym in Riverside.
There was the graphics I saw, right?
Yes.
The bull for their
then they put our logo on there as well. Mm-hmm. He has a gym in Oxnard, I believe, and also in Phoenix, in Texas. Okay, and now he has one in Selma.
Nice.
Selma, opening it up in Selma.
Now, what made him pick Selma? Jose's out of Selma, isn't he?
No, Jose's out of Avenal.
Oh, okay. So what made him pick Selma then?
Well, his ISIDRO's manager, Al Perez Jr., relocated in Selma, opened up a gym. They put their heads together and see their whole concept is to keep kids off the street and give them an opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's so. What more concept do you need than to open a gym for that?
I mean, but can you just imagine saying, "Hey, what gym do you want?" Oh, I don't know. Oh, Hall of Fame gym. I want that one. It's just like you see a gym that says UFC. Okay, you don't even know who's in there. I want to join that gym.
Yeah, and that was their market plan too.
Well, yeah,
with the UFC gym thing.
Yeah,
they just bought gyms and just said, "No, we're just going to put the UFC gym name on it." Like maybe 20%. Maybe the numbers are way off, but there was not even close to as many UFC. I guess you would say rostered trainers as they touted. They'd be like, you go to a UFC gym, you're going to get a UFC trainer. At least somebody who's signed, right? Nope, you're getting Mike. This is Mike. Mike did 4 years of junior college, PE, psych, so you're good to go. And he's like, yeah, don't worry, bro. I watched some YouTube videos.
And he knows UFC trivia.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, bro, I've watched like all the UFCs. It's like, what? No,
he knows.
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. I know all the UFC trivias, man. I mean, let me ask you this. Okay, I can see a future after your boxing because I've watched you instruct too. I've watched you coach, and there's a lot of fighters that can transition into a coach.
Oh yeah, I love coaching. That's something I want to do after I'm done with boxing.
I noticed that you're passionate. I mean, I would see you helping out in some of these amateur shows and from lacing them up, giving them advice, and I can see that in the future for you, man.
I love the sport, training, coaching, anything. I love it. That's how much I love the sport.
Well, I know you love being in the ring because, like I said before, every time I see you in there, it looks like you're having a good time in there.
I have fun. If you're not having fun, you're in the wrong sport. You gotta have fun.
Yeah, when you're getting punched in the face for a living, you gotta find a way to really enjoy it, or you're in the wrong job, man.
Yeah, hey, that's your comfort zone. Hey, we're gonna take a commercial break. We're coming right back. Remember, we got some segments coming back right now. On segment number 2, we're gonna talk about the MMA news, the boxing recap, and we're gonna have some fun here on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. We'll be coming right back.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
Hey, welcome back, fight fans, and thank you for joining us here on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. This is round 2 with a recap of boxing news. Like I talked about on the top of the hour, Top Rank Boxing signs the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, to Top Rank Boxing. And see, do you remember, Cole, Lee Samuels was here. He hinted we're looking for a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was talking about that.
He knew that news. He knew it was right there. Mm-hmm. It was just going to happen, but he just couldn't spill it just yet. Not even on the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. Lee, this is your comfort zone. Come over here, come on the show, and drop the news.
Man, sometimes knowledge is money, though. You got to be real.
That's what it is.
You announce something too soon, and next thing you know, someone goes, I was thinking twice about it. It's like, oh, come on, we already told people you were going to do it, man. Come on. Like, it's bad. It's bad. But he's tight-chested. Like, he keeps everything real close. I think he asks more questions than he answers.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
And when he asks you a question, he already knows the answer.
True. Yeah, he already knows the answer. Oh, yeah. He just wants to see what the answer is going to come out of you. He'd be like, I know this kid loves his right hand. Be like, so, Isidro, what's your favorite punch? And, like, he already knows it. And before you even say it, he's like, well, I really like throwing my right hand. To be like, yeah. So I was watching your hips move when you were throwing it because I already knew you were going to say that. Like, he was already like
steps ahead of us,
asking questions. And I'm like, man, I didn't expect this guy to ask these questions today. It was fun. It made it fun though.
Yeah.
No, he does do that because, I mean, even when we're sitting at the press table and I'm watching the fight, I'm having a conversation with somebody. We're talking about, hey, what we're going to do, our strategy to interview this guy. He'll say, hey, Richard, who's winning the fight? And see, that's not the first time he's asked me. He wants to make sure. And I said, Castro's giving him. No, I said, I got Castro outboxing him, right? So I guess he didn't take my word for it. One of his executives came to, the executive came to complain. He had a concern. He said, hold on, who's winning the fight? And the guy goes, Castro's boxing his ass off right now. Okay, but let me tell you what's going on here, what they needed. But he wanted to make sure, are you who you say you are? Are you watching the fight? Are you covering it and doing what you need to do, as opposed to people sitting down?
Are you watching it or are you just watching it?
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Like, are you watching?
Okay, let me say this. Are you covering it, bringing content, or are you sitting back?
Or are you just enjoying the seats?
Or are you taking another person's press conference credential that can be of use out there? Give them an opportunity as opposed to just sitting down there enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the biggest complaints in MMA for press coverage guys. They'd be like, guys like Jeff.
Yeah.
You get guys like Jeff and Motts where they're like putting in applications to every event. Every event, press event, they're just trying to apply for it. And he showed me screenshots like, dude, I got UFC said yes. And I was like, I'm going to freaking Vegas. And I was like, dude, that's nice.
That's awesome.
Because a guy like that to cover it is just
And that's
really
just what
cool.
Jeremy spoke about maybe about a week and a half ago, or a week ago, about, you want to call
The
them
round
posers?
table.
You want to call them posers or what have you? No. The guys that say they're press, they go there to watch their homie or their friend, and then they bounce.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a big problem, man, because everybody would just say, oh, yeah, I'm with such and such. Here's my website or whatever. And it's like, back then it was just like any coverage was good coverage. Yeah. Everybody was just like, yeah, cover it, whatever. Great, we'll give you like ringside seats. Like, then you find out they're like, dude, that guy's just buddies with him. They're gone. See, look, they're gone.
Exactly. And see, doors opened up at what time?
I believe like 1.
At 1.
12.
At 12. See, I usually get there like about 5, right? I said, I got to be there early to cover Ochoa. I kept saying, when are you fighting?
Yeah, I couldn't text you back because there was no service.
No, Al did. Your manager texted me back and said you were a swing bout. I go, okay, it can happen. It can be the first, 1 second, or whatever. And I did not. There was no way I was going to miss it. Yeah, how do I have you on the show here and say I support you, say I'm a fan, I'm a supporter, and not show up to your fight? I don't get that in our own backyard.
I know I don't think that would be right.
You were at Save Mart. That's right. Yeah, Save Mart's a pit, dude. Save Mart's like in the backstages. It's like everyone's all underground. The staging, the backstage. It's like the concession stands is the only thing that's ground level. And I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
It is, man. And that's just the way it is. Hey, there was a father that was inspired. No, let me rephrase that. A fighter that was inspired by his father. His father was fighting cancer, and Leo Santa Cruz was very inspired and determined, and that's why he defended his WBA featherweight title, man. He dedicated it to his dad. And him and his dad, how they got that close relationship, and that was last Saturday. I mean, this guy's a warrior. Santa Cruz brings it, man.
Oh, he's good. He's really, really good.
And, Rafael Rivera, he did his best as he can do, but when you're in there, Santa Cruz is prepared to go 12 rounds every single time.
Of course he is.
I mean, punches in bunches. I mean, his stats and letting his hands go, never in a dull round. Never.
That's somebody I want to fight.
Well, hey, there it is there. I like that.
That's someone I want to fight.
I like that, man. Why him?
I don't know. I just feel like he'd bring the best out of me because he's long.
Hey, that could be a passing of the torch.
That's something I want. That's a fight I really want.
There you go. There you
he's
go.
He's really good.
You disrupt the long guys combo with the power strike, man. You're gonna have people just yelling out "combo breaker" in the crowd. It's gonna be insane.
Hey, that's the way it's gonna be, man. And in the heavyweight division, it's heating up. In New York today, Big Baby Miller, he pushed the heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, when they're standing in the face-off, getting ready to do their presser, he literally pushed him, man. I mean, his neck almost snapped back. I mean, what's your take on that?
I don't know, man. I'm torn on it because sometimes you're just like, dude, if it escalates,
yes,
and somebody gets punched, now somebody gets split open, something
Fights
gets broken, hand gets broken, fights off. Great. Now you both just boned each other out of
Anthony
money.
Joshua, the heavyweight champion of the world, kept his composure during the whole time. He kept his composure, but he wanted to get closer to him, just enough to touch him. I thought he was going to slap him, to be honest
He probably
with you.
wanted to feel how strong his body felt like on push, like if he gives or if he would actually stand his ground or not.
He just went up there and Big Baby Miller just shoved him, man, just pushed him.
Man, it's hard. Like sometimes I think, yeah, dude, and here's the thing is I've done it. I've shoved guys at weigh-ins. Like
What triggered you off?
It was something they said in a pre-weigh-ins interview that got to me that day. Like it got to me that day from a reliable source, and I was like, okay, cool. That's what they think it's going to be. So it was just and I think it was only like the one or two times I've ever gotten like real physical at weigh-ins, and then, but to see it, it's like, come on, guys, because the whole cards have gotten canceled before because of stuff like that. Main event gets hurt, no replacement. The whole card's not strong enough on its own.
Marco Antonio
Cancel.
Barrera and Eric Morales, they went fisticuffs right there at a face-off. I think Barrera threw the first punch, right?
I don't remember.
And then Eric Morales threw a combo. I mean, you were talking about bare knuckles.
Yeah, I've seen stuff
it.
like that. Like, yeah, exactly. You break your hand right there because you got to remember they're so used to punching. None of them punch barehanded.
No.
None of them. So when they're punching full strength, full speed, and they're clipping some dude on the skull, dude, you're gonna break your knuckles, bro, and it's just gonna happen. And now what? Now what? You're out of a fight, man.
No, you don't want that happening, man. You don't.
But
want
it's at the same time though, it's entertaining as heck.
It is.
It's part of the drama. So you gotta have
it sells tickets.
You gotta have that line. Like, okay, nobody throw blows. Just tell them for it. Have your managers talk. Be like, hey, dude, if they're gonna do it, just make sure remind them. Don't throw blows. Just remind them. Don't throw blows.
Exactly.
Push each other if you want. Don't throw blows.
We're not gonna fight for free. Have you ever almost been pushed to that limit?
No.
Right before a fight, you're always calm and composed.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's a good thing, man. Now get this, okay. We had Hector Macho Camacho Jr. on the show. He was looking for an opponent, and he named one, right, that he was interested in. I'm sitting down, and I'm talking to Robert Garcia. And I said, I want you to think about this name. I'm going to give you a name. I want you to think about it. If you don't think he's worthy of a comeback, I didn't say in those exact words.
Yeah, what do you think about the potential of this fight?
Yes, I'm going to leave it for the show, for the viewers, and they can watch it. If not, what's your advice? So when I threw it out there, and we're talking about Hector Macho Camacho Jr., and one of his fighters, Bam Bam Rios, you know what he said? I like it. Let's make it happen. That's Brandon
cool.
Bam Bam Rios. He goes, it's going to happen.
Nice.
And he got excited. He looked at me and smiled and said, call him right now. Tell him. We're going to make this happen.
We've already got one side of the contract
Yes.
that's actually actively going, I would like to fight that
Yes.
guy. I'd like to come back and fight that guy. What's he think? Well, now you have almost an immediate answer from that side. Now it's just a matter of talking to the camp.
Well, Brandon has to take care of business. He fights next month. He has to take care of business.
He fights the 23rd for this month.
Oh, is it? Yes, that's right. I stand corrected, yes. And when that happens, then we could already start talking about that little rivalry there. And he said, I'll take it. He said, we'll do it.
And I imagine the value of that fight would be based on the outcome of this upcoming fight for Bam Bam anyway. A win would only make the value of it more so. A loss, would they reconsider the value of that fight?
I can see that because of Macho's layoff. Now, I don't think Macho's going to take it just right away. I believe he's in training. Don't quote me, I'm not his manager, but may take a tune-up or two. But that fight can materialize big
Which
time.
is smart. You gotta get back in the rhythm. Because you gotta remember for example, like when I would took 3 years off since surgery. So when you come back, you have to and that's why my coach ended up being really mad because they just threw me in with some 7-0 kid, some beast with some undefeated AMI record and all stuff. And they were like, you need a warm-up fight. You can't just jump back in because even for a decade later, generations change, technique changes, fighting styles change. Now you got to deal with guys that are bouncing around all the time really fast like they're in a triathlon. So days have changed. So you have to ease into it. Just to jump in with a guy that's high ranked into the current aspect of the sport, that's risky. So I see what you mean by that.
Yeah,
that's
and
risky.
talking about change, I know you're going to be discussing that on Cole's Beatdown on somebody who came back this weekend. And also, Tulare, California. A big congratulations to Richard Torres Jr., our heavyweight. He was the only one, he won gold for USA Boxing. He got the win. And he was named second runner-up for the most outstanding boxer in the whole tournament.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
That kid's good.
And this was in Bulgaria, man. Mm-hmm. On the 70th International Boxing Tournament.
We were talking about that. Well, he was with his father, right?
He's being groomed for Team USA as a heavyweight.
And we were talking about that drive of this is what you want to do first because it's not always going to be there. Yeah, that's cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
good
news.
Big southpaw, man. I'm just landing meat hooks.
We got when he comes back, then it'd be good to do follow up with him and say, hey, so you were going to do it.
I just put a message in, and I'm sure his dad got a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, Richard, when he comes back here, he's going to rest. We're going to barbecue, and we're bringing him on the Fighter's Voice Knockout radio show. So I'm looking forward to that, man. And listen, when you hear stuff like that, I didn't even mention the name yet, and you were already showing respect and gratitude, and you were happy already for him. I mean, because he's, this area based, even though he's from
Central Valley.
Yeah, exactly. As opposed to whether it's in the media, whether it's in another fighter, there's no support system here, man. I mean, we all need to stick together unless we are going to fight each other.
Exactly. Any fighter from the Central Valley, if they're doing good, I'm going to show them the support, Just like when I was an amateur, everybody showed support for me, so I don't see no difference. He's a Central Valley fighter. He's doing good for us. There's no reason why we can't show our love to him.
Exactly. And you know what? We're going to show our love to this commercial right now. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back with segment number 3 with news in the MMA world of events, things coming up on Cole's Beatdown. We'll be coming right back here. I'm Rich Ortiz, your host of the Fighter's Voice.
I'm Bob Arum, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
My name is Andre Ward.
Knocking out the competition.
Fighter's Voice!
The Fighter's Voice.
Yes, and we're back. Rich Ortiz here, your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show with my co-host, Cole Escovedo, the one and only. This is his part where we talk about MMA news, things that are happening, events. We get your opinion. We really want to know what's going on down and dirty. No, I don't want to say that. Let me take that back. I don't want to sound like somebody else. That's flipped out. Things do happen, okay? I mean, a hamburger's a hamburger. They don't rename a hamburger. Enough said. Cole, knock out these bills first.
Real quick, though, when you said a hamburger's a hamburger, overseas, over on the other side of the pond, McDonald's lost some lawsuit against somebody. Yeah, they were calling their food was called something, and it was like close to infringing on copyrights, and McDonald's sued them. And they lost the case, and they lost the right to contest anything within that realm of wordage. And some a Burger King over there took full advantages and just started trolling them. They called it like the Big King or something. Like it was really close to what they. But they only did it over there because they lost the case on that side of the pond, so they could do it, and they trolled them so hard. But the burger thing. So anyway, sponsors helping us keep lights on, mics on, man.
Yes.
Dying Breed Apparel. You can see their work right there, guys.
Dying
the hat
Breed.
that Rich is
and Robert Garcia was rocking it too this weekend.
Yeah,
and
see?
Mikey.
You can pick them up on the website, guys.
Yes, sir.
Bobby Salazar salsa. It's sitting in my fridge right now. It's spicy, man. I eat it with scoops, chips. Oh, man, I'll just sit there all day and watch.
I know you can.
It's so good, bro.
Have you ever seen him eat it? Dude's out of a spoon and just boom.
I would.
Like
I really
cereal.
would.
Like
I
cereal,
really would.
bro.
I really would. It's just
Like
it's
cereal.
spicy though. It's
good,
so
though.
spicy. Yeah, it's really good. If I get a boo-boo, you got Dr. Batista and Dr. Guzman, North Fresno Primary Care. Remember fighters, Nero's blood work, exams, all that stuff. They've got the paperwork. They're consistent with CSAC and Camo, and they'll send your guys' stuff up. It won't be a problem.
Actually, they're coming on the show in late March, and when he comes back from Chicago,
Cool. Then we can get you guys some firsthand. Remember, get those questions ready. If you got questions for those guys, make sure they have them ready. When they come on, we'll ask them. Miles Harris Esquire. Remember, if you guys need good, real defense for real problems, DUIs, drug, gang, felony, custody, divorce, like stuff you really need an aggressive lawyer for. Not just a lawyer is going to tell you what your options are, but he's going to show you, here's what I think you should do, period. If not, you're going to go here. And that's what you need. You need honesty.
Where's here? Where are they going?
Let's do this. Hold my belt loop. That's where they're going, man. They're going to hold
like the Monopoly game.
Yeah, right? Directly to jail, dude.
Do not collect $200.
But there's so many lawyers out there, especially like public defenders, which they have overworked caseloads anyway, so it's not really their fault. They're overworked for the sector anyway. But he'll look at you and tell you, this is what's going to happen, and if one of two things will happen, you do this, or we go the route you're considering, and this is what the result will be 9 times out of 10, or you do what I'm doing, since I've been doing this forever, and maybe one or
I
twice
actually
out of
got
10.
a candidate for him. They reached out to me too, so I got to hook those two up.
Oh, good. Yeah, totally. No, I've already gotten, like I said, rave reviews about him. They're just like, I'm so glad you introduced me to him. I was so scared because when you don't know law, it's already scary enough. But to be in a position to where your future rights, results, livelihood, etc., depend on somebody else, because you can't just blurt, oh no, Your Honor, you can't do that. You can't. There's rules. Judge will go, shut up.
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
So you have to have somebody who can speak to her. So it's already scary enough. It's even scarier when you don't trust the person that's speaking for you to do the job aggressively. I'm like, dude, you need to say something. Please say something. Please say something. No, it's okay. It's, don't worry. Dude, I'm going to go to prison. Please say something. So Miles is the guy that will go, no, Your Honor, objection, relevancy, whatever, etc. You know, he will speak up for you. He will tell you what the harsh truth is too. He was telling us when he was on the show, he's like, look, if you're going to do some jail time, you're going to do some jail time. Yeah. But I'm going to make sure that it is as little as possible. And we will do our best to get you
thorough.
Exactly. We will do every single thing to keep your butt out, because that's step number one, is to keep you out. And then if at the end of the day he has to be truthful with you and go, look, you Rich, bro, you're going to do like 6 months, a year. You know, that's really the best we can do.
Dude, I don't even like the way that sounds. When
no,
you're
bro, nobody does. Dude, nobody does. But you're going to hate 5 to 10 even less. So when he tells you that reality, no, exactly, because you're going to go, you know what? Okay.
Hey, man.
And he's going to look at you and go, dude, you got less than a year. You won't even go to prison. You'll sit in county. You'll do some probation. They're overbooked. They're overcrowded. They're overworked. They're going to cut you loose in like 3 months anyway. Blah, 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 blah. And you're out. So he will tell you those options versus just a PD or somebody that you don't trust who's going to go, no, I think if we just do what the DA is offering, then you're what the DA is offering?
Yeah.
Good luck, dude. I'll see you in 5 to 10, bro.
We ain't doing that.
No, so Miles, like I said, trusted, aggressive, real trouble type lawyer. Don't call him up if you've got a boo-boo or an owie. You got some speeding ticket. No, call him up when you're looking at 25 to life, because you need a guy like that in your corner, period.
Exactly.
End of story. So, and always, Mad Productions, the mad man over there, dude.
Every time I see
something, dude.
I saw him in action.
I did. I saw that video.
Oh, did you see
dude,
it? Yeah,
with the briefcase?
Yes,
dude, you're a badass. I love it, dude. That was a good choreography. I saw that too. And then all of a sudden it just ended.
Hey, didn't he look like Jackie?
Dude, yeah.
He did.
And then it just stopped. I couldn't hear it. I was at work. I watched it and then it just stopped. And I was like, well, somebody came to some kind of an agreement all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, don't kick my butt.
That was cool, man.
But that's why you guys are getting such the production that they get here. It's if you like what you're seeing, it's because of the Mad Lylation over there, guys. He's doing things.
Make it happen.
Fight choreography scenes. I'm just saying, I know how to.
Yeah, I told you, man. Coach,
I can take a punch.
We just talked about you too, but we said a different style of movie that you would want to be in.
Well,
we left it alone, and it kind of goes with Cole's beatdown.
My beard again,
no, it kind of goes with Cole's beatdown.
Beatdown. I'm not even going to touch that one. Man. That sounds
that.
like trouble. But I've done that before.
But let the stash grow, because we're going to bring it back.
Man,
with some elevator music.
That's. I got a van with no windows.
There you go.
And as always, the reason we're here, the drive the career. Thumbs up for Richie Productions, man.
It's
what's driving it.
Always thumbs up.
Yeah, always. But
so tell
MMA.
us, man. MMA, man. I'm excited about it.
So we'll kind of touch on it. We'll recap a little. UFC was this last week in Fight Night, which so far so good with the ESPN transition. I've noticed a lot more generalization sports, football, basketball, soccer, NASCAR, etc. Those guys that are just ESPN watchers for that. Who got traded, who got drafted, who got fired, who's injured. And they've started to come up to me at work and go, "Hey Cole, I was watching us on ESPN the other day. What do you think about that?" So I used to just have MMA fans that knew I fought and just liked MMA, and they would come up and ask me, "What do you think about this fight? What do you think about this?" Just because they knew I was into fighting. Yeah. Now I get like random football fans that I know that are players that are at my card room. They'll come up and say, "Hey, well, what do you think about this?" And I'm like, "Well, where'd you see that?" They're like, "Well, I was watching ESPN and they were talking about it." I'm like, "That's right, because that's what they're going to cover now."
They're feeding them, and they're not even force feeding them. They're eating.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I saw the schedule, and I'm an ignorant, uncommon, uneducated man when it comes to TV marketing, planning, scheduling, 12 months of programming, etc. So I don't know the algorithms. I don't know if they're putting on that many fights and that many cards. I'll be honest, the only reason I can think of it is because they got way too many guys signed. But you got to put them on somewhere. You got to get content out. I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I think the market's being oversaturated. I think there's too much content, too much exposure, too many ways to watch, too much to watch. You just kind of, everything just falls to the wayside.
Sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for.
Touche, yeah, but
Yes.
that same demographic setup, that same approach, and like I said, uneducated guys, I don't know nothing about TV and how to market it correctly, so I could be way off base. But it just seems that like when you have that many fighters and you've got that many cards, the more exposure you can give yourself, the more branding, the more marketing, the more you can use the UFC's marketing machine, which they are very open about saying, look, we created a marketing machine for you.
Yeah.
Use it. Like they are
It
very...
doesn't get any bigger or better than ESPN.
No, it doesn't.
Putting your
So-
sport on there.
And that's a step towards the mainstream.
Exactly.
And at some point, though, I want to look at the other sports and the other viewers and stuff. Go, how more mainstream does it need to get? Like it's here. Like it's like, what else do you want? Like there's too much exposure.
We
like,
asked for it.
Exactly. So, but it puts the fighters in good spots because it gives them that multiple training. Go, you want to fight every other month? Like I was fighting every other month at some point. So it's like, if you want to do it and you're healthy, sure.
Hey, that's Cerrone.
Yeah, it's not like Sean or Joe are going to say no. They're going to go, okay, well, we'll add
That's
you
that
to our
Cerrone
list.
thing, man.
Yeah, exactly. They just, when they call
And
Cerrone for a fight.
Chael was always down for his too.
Yeah, but Chael would want to know who. That's the thing with Chael, is he'd want to know who it was first.
If it was marketable.
But for a cause of reason, not because he was ever be scared. Don't ever take that comment I just made right now as the fact that Chael Sonnen would ever be scared of anybody. That's not the thing. It's that he knew his worth. So before you gave him a number, he'd want to hear who was it. Mostly because he would, before you shot a number, the second you said the name, he would have calculated a number of what he felt was an acceptable price to fight that person.
And that's that marketing brand, that way of thinking.
Exactly.
And that's where you need to come in and start marketing yourself, my man. I mean, because you're an undefeated, top-ranked professional fighter. You have the word professional attached to your resume.
Yeah.
With that 0. With that O right there. You got to cash in, my man. You know what? Is it safe to say, and not to get off topic, and don't take this wrong, okay? But you're a quiet 7-0. That needs to be marketed. Fresno, California. Top ranked, undefeated, professional.
I feel like that too. I feel like I need to make some noise.
Hey, well, you're making noise with your fists.
Exactly. So here's how you go about doing that. You don't have to be real vocal. You don't have to be loud. It helps. It really helps. But you also have to be able to back it up. So that's a sharp razor's edge. You want to be vocal, you want to call people out, but you better back it up. You don't have to win every single fight. That's just, fans will say, oh, well, you have to. Dude, no, because once you start getting to a certain level of competition,
It gets hard.
it's a dice roll, man. It's you've both trained and both experienced a lot. So it's whoever is just luckier that day sometimes. Because the more you train, the luckier you get. But on that day, dude, it was just your day today, bro. Like, I've been caught 1,000 times with that hook, and I've never buckled. You just got me that day.
Talking about buckle. Talk about something that buckled this weekend. It was kind of, and I even called the man himself. When it took place, I called Sure Dog.
Man, so
I did. And I'll tell you
I-
about that conversation.
Yeah, so imagine you're talking about Kane's knee.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
so there's a lot of people have been asking me about that. Do I think it goes the exact same way up until that point? I'd pick Kane to win. Mostly, I know he was on a layoff, but I picked Kane to win because I think his experience and opponents was vaster than Nagano's, and I just felt that he's a striker, he's a monster, but just Francis was just the level of opponents he was crushing, which he's crushing them. Don't get me wrong, crushing them, but up until he got to, like, I think one point before Kane where he just blew everyone away. And then if I was like, well, Kane's got more experience against more dangerous opponents, higher rank fighter, higher dangerous opponents. Yeah. And I just felt that it was just the experience was going to pay off there because they're both bombers. Yeah. I mean, they're both just going to bomb. It's just whoever lands correctly first or gets 2 in at a time. And up until that point, I don't know. I kind of thought after watching it that Kane was moving a little slower. He did look like you could definitely tell he had taken time off, like not necessarily taking time off from the gym,
when he
but
missed
from
that
fighting.
kick and he overreacted on defense. Did you notice that?
A little bit. It could be a little bit. Well, you got to remember, you're dealing with a guy like Francis that just if there's a window, that window's not just going to have a baseball coming through it. That window's going to have a boulder coming through it. So he wants to get back quick because Bob Cook and Javier were probably needs to go. And remember, if you throw a kick, you need to be back quick. That was probably part of the game plan. But to have the knee thing happen, I love the fact that not once did you hear about it before the fight. Yeah. And Kane was just like, it happened.
Exactly.
He's just like, I got to look back at it and see how we look at my knee and make sure that's fine first, and then we'll worry about what's from there. A lot of people think that you could, like I said, you can tell that he'd been off for a while. You can tell it's been a while since he had a fight, which it's just going to happen. It's not like he's any different than anybody else. It's not like he's been slacking.
He started to get overwhelmed with punches once he was on the ground, but nothing caught him clean to put him down
Exactly.
except the buckle. And I don't want to take away from, I mean, we're talking about Kane losing. We're not talking about Francis winning. I mean, you understand that?
Exactly, and that's one of the drawbacks too. Is like I said, up until that point anyway, I had picked Kane to win, but it was going more towards Francis's way. He seemed to have more control of that fight. He seemed to be dictating the pace of it more. He seemed to be not necessarily landing, but he was throwing. Yeah. He was aggressive. He was attempting to finish the fight. So do I think it would have lasted longer had not happened? Of course. Kane's a fighter, period. You're going to have to put Kane down. Like, he's not a guy that he's just going to go, oh, you hurt me, I'm done. Dude, he'll let you knock him out. He don't care. Because if you don't knock him out, you're gonna get caught swinging, and he's gonna connect with you. So I think that was an unfortunate happenstance. It happens sometimes in fights. I think it's no different than a guy checking a kick or throwing a kick and kicking wrong and blowing his shin out.
Oh, well, you see that happen too.
As soon as that shin snaps. So it's freak accidents. It happened to Silva. The highest ranked type of athlete as far as MMA is concerned that you're going to get. You kick wrong once, you check wrong once, it can happen. It can happen to anybody. So the same thing with the knee. That can happen to a football player. It could happen to a quarterback 3 years into his career, never had a knee problem. Steps once wrong,
Joe
pivots, boom.
Joe Theismann.
Yeah, exactly. So I still think Kane was going to lose that fight, though, after seeing the direction it was going. Yeah. I kind of thought that was probably going to be the direction it was going. But we're kind of glad there's that. So like I said, doesn't know where he's going to go. Hats off to Francis, though. Like you said, you mentioned people are really talking more about Kane's knee than Francis's domination of the fight. It wasn't domination, maybe that's a bad word, but his control of the fight. He was what everybody was expecting to show up, and he did. The next fight should be, I think it should be for a title fight.
Well, that's what he's already claiming a title.
Yeah, it should be. It should be.
And speaking of title, we're going to be talking, when we come back, we're going to be talking about a title possibly taking place in the Warrior Princess in Fresno, California, and that's Zoila Frosto. We're coming right back here with the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. Remember, knocking out the competition. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show, simply knocking out the competition. The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And talking about what matters this Friday, February 22nd, we got Zoila Frosto, the Warrior Princess, in the co-main event. Compa America's back here in Fresno, California. And that's where you live at inside of the cage, Cole. I mean, what's your whole take? And it was just like it happened yesterday, and the popularity of all the MMA fans in Fresno, as well as the boxing fans here supporting ISIDRO OCHOA. I mean, we come from a fight town, Fresno, California. What's your whole take on that?
Fresno's always been a fight town. I remember the first time we saw Koscheck do a walkout on a UFC fight, and it said Fresno for the first time. Dude, we lost our stuff. I mean, we went insane. We were all over my buddy Greg. I think was it his house? I think it was Greg's house.
It was Greg's house.
I think it was Greg's house. But no, I was like,
it was ISIDRO's house.
18, I think.
It was Ochoa's house.
But it's always been a spot. You've got so many guys that have made it to the UFC from Fresno, Bellator, all the big shows, Japan. It's just always been a hub for fighting. Period. Yeah. It's just always been. But the Zoila thing, is that a late addition?
No.
Okay,
she got the call. She's the co-main.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. I was gonna say I was trying to find out who they were gonna replace on that card with what's his face out.
Well, leading up, that's what it was going to be with Zoila.
That's okay.
And she had that news when she was in the studio last time. She just couldn't break that news.
Oh, okay.
So out of respect,
well, she already knew she was going to be on the card. Then.
She knew.
Okay, so she's not a replacement.
I'll go ahead and say that, right? We had that conversation. She knew, but it was good. So officially now,
well,
of course.
she's got to be careful.
She's on a poster now, so yeah, she knows.
Yeah, at this point, she knows
she's fighting this Friday. Okay,
man, she knows. She probably knew back then. She just didn't say anything. No, I think that'll be good. I like the fact that they're coming back so soon. It's a gamble. You could probably ask Mike that as far as promoting fights and marketing fights and really getting a foothold and traction in a region. How do you establish yourself as a consistent?
Wait, how do you say the last name?
Afromowitz.
Mike
Afromowitz.
Yeah. Actually, he's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Is he?
The Fighter's Voice Kick-Ass Podcast.
Perfect. If we're messing up your name, Mike, I apologize. I'm just going to call you Mike Afro, dude. That's the easiest way, bro.
Fro Mike.
No,
Mike the Fro.
But it is a little bit of a gamble when you come back to a region so soon. You want to make sure that you're not doing it too often, because there is a plethora of local region shows anyway, so you don't want to get caught in the mix. But a lot of them are amateur cards. So I think as long as he continuously builds the card base with good locals and draws from like, I think if you're drawing any more than like 2 hours out of Fresno for the region is a good radius.
And the whole theme, America versus Mexico.
That'd be a good card too. That's okay. So that's another thing with Combate. They do that I really like is they do different things. It's not just, hey, we're throwing a card. Last time it was, hey, we're putting on a 100K tournament.
Exactly.
Now we're gonna have country battles. Next, you gotta have Dojo Wars could be on a card one time. I mean, they're always doing something different. It's not just, hey, we're throwing on a fight. It's next time it's going to be Russia versus Spain, or it could be Brazil versus Britain. Wherever you got just a region of fighters to pull from, that's another thing they do. You can just stack your main card with who you want and just start feeding your local guys into it, because that's what's going to build your ticket sales.
Exactly.
And we all know that. So they've got like a good 2 hour radius that they can pull from, that I think they can get good following from. And like I said, Fresno's full of guys. I mean,
well, they're coming back here for a reason. Hey, will you be at that fight, Ochoa?
Yeah, this Friday.
Yeah. I mean, do you like to enjoy fights, man? I mean, when you're not sparring, when you're not working out, just to sit there and just get in there, or do you get that itch? Are you able to watch a fight?
Yeah, I'm able to watch fights. I love watching the fights.
But we're talking about in the cage, man. These MMA guys, man, they're gonna bring it.
Yeah, I never watched MMA fights before.
Well, hey, this Friday, man, we're gonna make sure you watch one.
I want to watch them. Yeah,
we're gonna make sure. I want to introduce you to Mike.
So I'm saying, man, transition.
Yeah.
Now, see, the logic on that only goes one way. Now, I think MMA guys can go to boxing easier, and don't get offended on this. I think MMA guys can get into boxing easier than I think boxing guys can get into MMA, like if they transitioned over. Because there's more things you got to start like picking up. Like you're going to be lighter on your feet because you don't want to get shot in on. You got to be lighter on your lead leg because you don't want your leg to get blasted and then you just fall forward into an uppercut. Little things like that, where if you're going from MMA to boxing, you have to just start thinking about your footwork way more. It's okay to put your feet closer together. You're not going to get swept, kicked. You're not going to get shot in.
There's more dimensions. I mean, can you imagine if you're going into a dimension and say, hey, all I got to worry about is we're striking, as opposed to, okay, this guy's going to shoot on me.
Exactly.
I mean, ground and pound once we're on the ground, and you're only thinking about one dimension.
True.
There's two hands coming at you, as opposed to your world. I mean, you got to be well-rounded, or else y'all stuvo, that's it.
Yeah. True, exactly. You do, but you can't just be okay either. You have to try to excel at all of it, or you're going to get pummeled. Yeah. Like boxing, MMA guys can go in though, but their time is going to be spent learning footwork, pivot, turn, weight distribution, all that stuff, the finer points. Like they already know how to punch, but now it's like, now let's teach you how to punch and punch 332 more times with that same arm and not get tired.
When you're in there, I know you use all your attributes, Ochoa. I mean, you'll go right-handed and left-handed. Do you feel comfortable on the same ones, or you just change according to your opponent?
No, I love switching. That's just something I love doing. Like,
you've been doing that since the amateurs?
I've been doing it since I was like 11, 12 years old.
Switching. Oh, there you go.
So I don't know. I just feel like every time I switch, they're thinking. They have to think. I'm always having them think.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. You know, I like more lefty though, because I feel like I'm on my feet more. I can see the punches coming, the way my angles and everything.
Cole, you got to see this dude, man. I mean, really. I mean, he's just so slick, just bobbing and weaving, and then they're afraid to throw punches because now they're paying for it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So now you're just locked up because he made you pay.
You just become a target at that point.
Exactly.
Once you get gun shy, you're no longer in a fight. You are now a target. Just like if you were having a shootout with someone, the second you disengage and you won't shoot back, you're done. That's it. Yeah. They're going to push on you and they're going to keep shooting and you're gonna break. Exactly. Same thing with that, dude. You heard him, dude. He just started worrying about the headshots. Yeah. Opened up his whole midsection for him. He was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take it now. Fight's over. I'm gonna make you hurt.
Get something else to think about, man.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The damage was enough.
But who I do want to think about is no, I better not say that. she'll kick my butt. But no, Zoila's gonna do great, man. I'm excited about it. And you got a lot of Madera fans because she's Madera based, and her mom is selling tickets. Zoila Frosto, Zoila's tickets. No, Zoila's taxes. That's right. Tickets too. Tickets at Taxes Place.
Tickets and taxes.
Yes, there you go.
That should be their tagline.
There you go.
Frosto's taxes and tickets.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Trying to give her a tagline. Tap out over here.
Yeah, or something.
Tap your
tap your
Something got
taxes or
tapped or
something.
something.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
tap out
something got
taxes or
tapped.
tap out the IRS or something.
Yeah, exactly, man. But no, her mom has her back big time, man. I mean, she's always there supporting her, and even her sister's making some noise. So maybe on the next one, her sister will be on the.
Yeah,
the card.
it was either a video she posted or a memory she posted. I think the other day on
Oh, her
Facebook.
sister-
Stephanie broke a bag, and the coach
Oh,
was
okay.
giving her grief over. She was like, "Well, I'm sorry. You said kick through." Or like they look at the. It just finally broke because she was just blasting on it. Is all what happened.
Bro, Zoila posted a video. Dude, she's shredded right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a Mexican Wonder Woman, bro.
kind of girls to take you home. They kind of just like,
With
how
that
you
golden-
doing? It's like
with that
I don't
golden
know.
with that golden lasso, bro. Hey, I want her back on the show.
give her
I don't
grief
want,
about
no,
that.
Hey, you know what? You remember what you said last time about the microphone, which we
Man.
cannot discuss here on this show.
She'll kick my butt. We'll have to do it on Wednesday.
yeah, but then you'll do it. But then you'll do it on purpose to get your butt kicked. So you already know what's up, man. I don't know how
Dude,
we got
she'll
on that.
smack me, dude. She will too. She don't care.
Oh man, let's
She's
change
like one
the
of the
subject.
boys.
Let's change the subject. So Choa, man. I mean, when you go back to training camp,
March 1st.
March 1st, man. When's the new date, man? I'm hearing something, but can it be announced yet?
Not yet.
Oh
Not
man.
yet.
Yeah. Even though Lee Samuel told us and we're right here, but still we respect it.
Yeah,
Can't be
yeah.
announced
So now
yet.
you
It's
just
right
going
there.
back on first. Well, that was a very specific date. So let's do some math. So you said you're not just going back to training. It's I go back on March 1st. So that's a tentative start camp time. That's a
Exactly.
camp time start. So that's like asking a seasoned football player. So you going to season camp? Where you
Yeah.
going? You going to road combine? What's up?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to report on to somewhere on like the 5th. It's like, okay, so you're supposed to report to somewhere on the 5th. That's a training camp start date.
Yeah.
Now you start looking through the numbers. So average what, 6-8 weeks training camp?
Yeah, 6-8
Okay,
weeks.
so you got what? You got like a mid-April. You're looking like mid to late April. That's if he's going back on March 1st. That's a 6-week to 8-week point right there. So somewhere between middle to late April.
I won't correct you, but you're wrong. But I won't correct you.
Okay, how far off am I then?
No.
Not that long.
You're pretty.
Not
Are we
that far.
on?
You can't start dumping this, bro. You'll get some
No.
hashtags.
Well,
by
I'm just
talking
going on the
boxing
basic
right now.
algorithm.
That's
I'm just
what I'm
going on
saying.
your usual 6 to 8 week fight camp. So if it's a little farther or a little sooner, so be it. If it's
That's
way
why
sooner,
that's why I love this kid, man. I mean, he'll call me and say, "Richard, guess what happened?" He goes, "But don't say nothing for about 3 weeks." I'm like, "What the heck? I want to post it, man. I want to say something."
like it's gonna happen. Just
Yeah.
don't tell nobody.
I go,
right?
"What?"
Well,
Yeah.
Opponent first be a good opponent too. Yeah.
okay, well that's good though,
Wow,
babe. But
dang.
that's so we have some dates. That's good. That's good to
Okay.
know. How
No,
long
that
until
is
we
good
can?
to
How long until we can start talking? After first or what?
Yeah, probably the first after the first.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff announced after the
yeah.
first.
Richard's just gonna get a text with a street light. It's just got a green light on it. It's just that's all the text is gonna say.
That's all we go.
That's
man.
all it's gonna
That's
say.
all we
Richard's gonna go.
And
I'm doing all
I
of
don't
it.
even like saying this is what I heard. I'll keep it to myself, man, because in case it's wrong. But who I heard it from is, yeah, this guy wouldn't.
It's
just
a
say it to
reliable
say it.
source. So yeah. Oh, but build the suspense.
Well, I'd respect, man. I mean, there's a lot of promoters here and a lot of people in the higher ups, and I respect that.
You don't want to step on feet. Somebody
That's
might
career
have
suicide, man.
that's true.
Yes, yes.
But it could ruin sponsorships, all kinds of things.
But what I can predict is that ISIDRO Ochoa would be victorious that day.
Of course.
Zoila Frosta would be victorious that day. And Mikey Garcia is not going to win a decision. He's going to win by knockout. And I will say that. And I did say that. I'm standing behind it. So, being that said, I said it early in the mix.
Nice. We're gonna record that and we're gonna watch on the outcome on that.
Oh,
one.
and
It'd be good to
Nate.
call it.
And Nate keeps hitting me up. Dude, he wants
Ren?
Yes.
Yeah.
He this thing with you, man, about you making a comeback or wants to spar with you or take a picture with you. And dude, have you noticed all his pictures? Here's the Nate pose.
Yeah, we got to work on
No,
that
but I
kid's,
love
we
Nate,
got to work
man.
on that kid's face,
hey,
man.
man, he turns in content like crazy, though. He's always giving it out to me. He was doing a story
yeah.
on Peter McNeely and where they are now.
Oh,
I
okay.
like it.
Cool. Some follow-up type
Yeah.
approach to journalism. That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
No, we got to teach him how to smile a little. Smile, Nate.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Well,
man.
I asked him about the smile. He said, "Richard, if I do, I'll probably get married." I'm, okay, like that. I go, "Wow, cocky dude, man." He keeps it real. He keeps it real, though.
I like it. Okay, maybe a smirk, bro.
Yeah,
Hold
maybe-
the pearly whites back. Just give him a smirk. Let him know.
Maybe a smirk, man.
Keep the
Maybe
ladies
a-
interested. Don't sell it all at once.
Oh, well, I mean, Choa knows what's up, huh? Yeah, he knows what's up in that category.
Mid-fight, just glancing at the ladies.
No, you know what I predict with Ochoa? One day when he like wins this title or something on national TV, he's the type of dude that'll just get on one knee before the interview and just boom
Man.
on national TV. That's the
always
way to
risky.
do it, like
That's
a
always
champ.
risky. It's always
Well, if
risky.
you're putting in work, you know the answer,
True.
right?
True.
Unless you don't know and you can both get knocked
that
out
just
by
seems
that
risky
answer.
to throw her on the hot seat like on national TV.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
seems
she
like you could
probably-
later she'd be like, "Don't ever do anything like that again. I love you, mijo, but don't ever do anything like
Yeah,
that again."
sure.
You know
Exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
But it's like, because she could be like that. That she's like, "No,
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone
She'll
to see
say,
me
go
cry.
to commercial break.
Like that girl.
Right?
Oh, did you see that girl that passed out when her boyfriend popped the
No.
question? He turned around and like gets on one knee, and as soon as she realized that you just see her body just locked up, she went out and she just went boom. And they got it on a film. It's on the internet. I feel bad for her, but she was just in such shock. Like
It was a shock.
They're expecting it,
Yeah.
but they never expect it. Like so when it happens, you get some that just
So real, man.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so real. But you know what? We're going to keep it real. We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to wrap up the show. We got Big Mike, the Wolfman, coming on. He's going to give us some boxing news, man, and his take on how Combate America is coming back to Fresno, California, and what's stirring up in the news. We'll be coming right back. I'm Rich Ortiz, your host with the most, Co Escovedo right here. Commercial break.
This is Hector Camacho Jr. I'm here with the Fighter's Voice.
Hey, we're back. Rich Ortiz here. I'm your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show, the only voice that matters. I'm here with boxing expert Mike Reta here in studio. He's going to talk to us about some rumors that are going around, some recap in the boxing news, and even some recap and rumors in the MMA world. And, of course, we have our guest, top-ranked, undefeated professional from Fresno, California, Isidro Ochoa. Welcome to the show, Mike.
How you doing?
Doing good, man.
All right, so
what's going on, man? I mean, just lay down on us, man. I only want fact. I don't want fiction. I can't announce it yet. But if you can't, then at least, give us some kind of hints.
well, early news. I know a lot of people, got perked up because Santa Cruz said he wanted Valdez. Just got word that's not going to happen next. So
that'd be a good fight, though.
Yeah, it would.
Who do you got on if that happens, who do you got, Isidro?
Valdez.
Ooh,
honestly,
I like that.
honestly, I go the same way. Santa Cruz is a great fighter. He just doesn't carry the power. Valdez got that left hook.
Yeah, he goes the distance a lot.
Yep, and it would be a great fight though. I don't think if anybody were to get knocked out, it would be Santa Cruz just because I think Valdez power would eventually get to him. Valdez hits like a truck, man.
Well, don't tell a certain media outlet that's in the LA area. I mean, because they put flags of him. I mean, and it's good to get attached to fighters, but you got to be realistic at times too.
No. I've interviewed Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
I've talked with him personally. So I've told him, I've actually told him I feel like if you had a little bit more power, you could move up to 130.
Well, see, I haven't been as privileged as you. I haven't met the man or talked to him or interviewed him, but I would love to. LA area.
He's a good dude. He's a real good dude.
I hear he's down to earth, man.
Yeah, and when I told him, he was like, that's what I got. I was
I
like,
love the whole story and the closest with him and his dad.
Oh yeah, his dad is incredible, man.
Yeah.
His dad actually, when I met him, told me, "Hey, you want me to go down to the store and get us a couple Coronas right now?"
Oh, dang.
I was like
that?
I was like, if I didn't have to drive,
Where
man,
was I at during this interview?
This was about 2-3 years ago.
Oh, shoot, man.
I was like, shoot. I was like, if I didn't have to drive home,
Oh,
it'll
be all good,
I was like,
man.
we might go back to the house right now, go get some carne
It'll be
asada.
all good. All good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Talk about close. Let me just say this. Talk about closeness. And I didn't mean to interrupt you. After the fight, man, Pete was just coming up to me. He was just like, I don't know how old he is, but when he was talking to me, he was 25 years old, bro.
Oh, man.
He said, did you see him? He goes, and we're going to bring him down to 118s. He'll beat the champ. And then we'll go back up here, and we're going to do this. And bro. Right, KP? Remember that? He came up to us and let us know, man. He was just excited. He was proud of Isidro and just like a kid in a candy store. And I use that phrase a lot, but that's exactly the way it was.
No, but that was a lot of people there.
That mentor. Oh, yeah, Isidro got down.
Yeah, a lot of people there were saying around the same. They're like, oh wow.
Yeah, no, he looks slick.
Like Brian Campbell sitting behind me. He was like, "Hey, this kid's from here," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like,
"Yeah, that's right. You told me about that conversation."
He's like, "I'm gonna have to keep tabs on this one."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, again, what we talked about yesterday when I got that message 3 a.m, Tyson Fury signing with Top Rank. That was
Top Rank Boxing.
Yeah,
man.
that was a shock there because I was waiting for the.
Well, you know what? When Lee was on the show, he hinted. He said, "We're looking for a heavyweight."
Yeah, and you know what?
And I didn't put it together. I started thinking. I started thinking about Torres already.
Yeah, he said we're looking for heavyweights, not just here.
Yeah.
The last thought though still is Tyson Fury.
But you know what? He started adopting a wild card gym and staying in the California area more than usual.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great signing, and I loved Wilder's response was, "I'm a free agent. I could fight wherever the money's at." And I believe Wilder. He went to Russia to fight Povetkin until he got popped for PEDs. I don't believe he's scared to fight nobody.
Yeah.
So Wilder's going to go where the money's at and wherever the fight's at. He's loyal to them, but he's going to go where the fight's at because he doesn't want no one calling him out. Saying
so you don't think that fight will take place with Top Rank, with Wilder?
I don't think it'll happen next. I think Fury will probably throw one in maybe April.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's going to happen next right off the bat.
It'll probably happen in the summer.
Yeah.
I think in the summer.
What do you think about the Gypsy King? I love that name, the Gypsy King.
He's good, man. I think he's the best heavyweight. He's good.
honestly, to me, it's between him and Wilder.
Yeah.
I mean, Joshua, I love him, but I mean,
He hasn't fought anybody.
yeah, his best fight is against Klitschko, and that was a great win. The other guys are top contenders, but Wilder's fought, Ortiz and Fury back to back.
Yeah.
And
Ortiz is good. Ortiz is
Oh
good.
man, he was
He's
a punch
king,
away, man.
Yeah, he was a punch away, but that's where you learned a lot about Wilder too. He could take all of that and still hit you one time, and that's it.
Exactly.
So I mean, against Fury, like we said, he was losing that fight, but that last knockdown
What
gave
made the
him the
difference?
tie.
Yeah, exactly.
And Fury was 2 seconds away from not getting up from that. I don't know how he got up, man.
That was crazy.
He just opened his eyes and there it is.
The Undertaker.
No, hey, that was absolutely right,
Yeah.
man. I mean, the way he
Undertaker.
got up,
Yeah, because I mean, you could see it on the first
he didn't
view.
even mean to get up, and that was just like
That was instinct.
Yeah, exactly. That was muscle memory, bro.
Yeah, because he was. I mean, you see his eyes closed, and then he like looks up, like, "Where am I at?" And then he got up more of, "I'm on the ground. Let me get up." And then he was like, "Oh, I just got put down."
I love the confident level that he has, and I love the fact that he's undefeated. So therefore, how do you tell an undefeated man, that you cannot win or you're going to lose?
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that fight's gonna happen. They both know there's way too much money, and they both know if they both fight one more time, they both win. Let's say Fury wins by knockout against Polev, who's they're thinking.
Yeah.
Let's say Wilder knocks out Brazil. Summertime, everybody's gonna want it.
Well, talk about knockout, man. How many knockouts do you expect as far as the crowd being at Save Mart Center this Friday, man?
They're gonna love the show,
Bro, they are going to love it.
Because
I'm excited about it.
I seen the one that they had in Mexicali a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
That was a great show. Dude got knocked out in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
We got to make sure Isidro gets down there.
Oh, yeah.
We got to talk to Mike about maybe getting this guy some.
Oh, yeah. You're
So
gonna
get him
wanna see-
hooked.
Yeah, you're
get a
gonna wanna
fighter
be
hooked.
there.
Now his manager Al Press saying, "No, don't we get no ideas about getting him in the cage? I know Cole's gonna show him an arm bar and stuff, and your girlfriend's going to say, no, I don't want my poppy getting kicked, especially right there. You know what I mean? Because then all lights are out.
Hey, you see the one on Friday, right, in Bellator? That dude
I saw the
had to
highlight.
go to
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Man, he had to go to the hospital for getting kicked there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Worst pain there is.
Yeah. Ooh, that sounded so
just thinking about it. Ugh.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, I was like, I turned around, and then they just showed him laying there, and they're like, hey, and he's like, no. I was like, yeah,
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't look at me.
Don't get anywhere near
No,
me.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Well,
If you find the other one, just mail it to me, right?
If you pick it back up, put it in ice, and meet it to me at the hospital.
Yeah, like Tyson's ear. Actually, Holyfield's ear. Yeah, put some ice on it, stitch it up.
That one was bad.
But that's what they signed up for.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna see. I'm not that particular
Oh, yeah.
thing going on.
Hopefully not.
In Fresno, but these guys bring it, man.
Yeah, they got speed, they got power. There's going to be nonstop action that night.
And just the way they treat their media, everything's done professionally. Everybody's checking in.
Yep.
Everybody that's there deserves to be there, and
Exactly.
they got a pen and a pad, and they are bringing content, and they are putting up stories, man.
Exactly.
And that's what I do love about it, man. And also, you know what? The top-ranked family, man. I mean, they're doing it, man. They're making it happen. These big signings,
Yep.
and they're about to name another event, which Ochoa knows about, and I'm sure you do too. We just, out of respect, won't release
it down.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Keep it down, man. But
No, they got a lot of work coming. I mean, there's a lot of action that I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of, if this goes down, this is what's going to happen coming up. So,
some other towns that they want to hit too.
yeah, and then with some of the other fighters, for not just Top Rank, but certain.
Yeah.
There's going to be some crossover fights coming. Like that's there.
You know who I don't want to get lost in the crowd is Madman Marcos Hernandez. He's in a fight the day after Bam Bam's
Yeah, I was
fight.
going to say
correct?
next week, right?
Yes,
or
it
this
is.
weekend, right?
No, it is this weekend. This
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, in Minnesota, right?
Oh, yeah,
It is.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Man. You know what? And he was on the contender. You know what, Marcos? You got this, man. Represent
Hey,
Fresno.
he's fighting the hometown fighter, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a tough fight.
And it's a rematch.
Yeah, that's a tough fight. man.
But you know what? He fights tough
Oh, no,
opponents.
yeah.
If you look at his opposition as far as the wins
yeah,
and
yeah.
losses, hey, he's the
No,
real deal, man.
This is going to be a real good fight.
No, he's
but
gonna let it go.
It's their they're promoting that other kid a lot, but no, Marco's got something to prove.
Yeah,
so.
it'll be on national TV too,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
I'm excited about that. Marco, we wish you well here at the Fighters Voice Knockout Radio Show. Do what you do, man. I mean, you've been fighting on the road your whole career, man. So there's nothing different. There's nothing any man's going to do. You know this guy already. It's a rematch, and this time you're going to put convincing, and you're going to come back with that W, man.
Yep.
We're rooting for him.
And just as a form of advice in a way, hey, Ryan Garcia, get off of social media,
Oh,
kid. Get off of that.
No, his handlers really need to tell him, you know what, but just listen. Be careful what you ask for. He does not want Tank. He doesn't even want to drive in a
Oh
tank.
no, I'm not even talking about that situation.
No, yeah, I know about that other stuff. And I wouldn't have even posted, hey, I'm sparring with Carnelo. No, I would have just said, hey, as a true warrior, I went and got some work in after the fact. Yeah, we kept it on the low.
Because he asked for it. Hey, I respect him for doing that.
I do.
Hey, go ahead. Fight spar with who you want to spar with. But everything else, that kid needs to know what he's doing. Like
he has skill set, man. It's just a matter of timing. I think he needs a PR person to say, hey, you know what? Let's slow it down a little bit. This isn't.
Honestly, I hope Canelo beat some sense into that kid.
I don't want anything disappearing on what should have, could have, and would have. What's your take on that?
I think Ryan's a good fighter, but I just feel like he has too much of a big mouth. He needs to just.
Is he too over the top?
Yeah. Tank is the one you should be calling out.
No.
You know.
He's not and De La Hoya said it last year. Tank's a beast, and that's the truth.
And I'm a fan of Ryan Garcia. I really am.
Yeah, I love his style.
I just don't think he's ready for the likes of the Tanks and all these other guys he's calling out. And
his time will come.
And then at that,
it will come.
Yeah, and he just switched over to Chepo as a trainer.
Yeah,
get used to it. He's got the perfect person to train with Valdez. That's a great person to learn from.
Good-looking kid, undefeated, has hands. Your time's gonna come.
And honestly, he could take a punch because he's been hit by some power, and he walks through it. Hey, you got the skill. Just slow down, kid. What is he? Only 20, right?
Yeah.
He needs to slow down. Yeah. I know you want to get up there, but man, relax because
there's no rush.
Shoot, give ISIDRO that promotion right now. Let the whole world global know about ISIDRO right now. I don't want him to be a quiet 7-0. I want him to be a screaming 7-0, where you got endorsements coming at you left and right, and your career's about to flourish and blossom because popularity, and the kid can fight.
But ISIDRO's smart. He's not going to go out there. ISIDRO's not going to come out and be like, yo, I want to go fight Terrence Crawford. Come on now. We know you got to build it up to it. And
well, I know somebody around the Central Valley that wants to fight Terrence Crawford. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that, and take care of business first and foremost. And it's all good. This is why we love the sweet science, and it's a great, beautiful sport, man.
Yeah. Now, for that kid, though, he just really needs to chill. Like, honestly, I don't want to see another one. I don't want to see another Victor Ortiz. I'm gonna be honest. That's where he's going towards. Ortiz had everything set for him, but he never had heart. Garcia, I believe, has heart, but he's gonna run if he gets that Davis or one of those.
You know what? Since I'm a friend of Bam Bam Rios, I will say the only thing I like about Ortiz is his last name. And if he starts trying to come in front or something, I'll get Bam Bam on him. Let him handle that Kansas City way, man.
Well, that's what I'm just saying, man. He's Ortiz. Ortiz was there.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the heart, and Garcia has the heart. But
I was a fan of his until he started doing interviews, bro.
Yeah, but similar to I put this as Vargas and Trinidad. Vargas wasn't ready for Trinidad when they fought. He had the skill. But Trinidad had just that little bit of he caught him low, 4 or 5 times?
Dude, Fernando Vargas is a freaking Aztec warrior, bro. Yeah. Straight
He wasn't going to give up,
I mean, dude, when I hugged him, it was like, honestly, like hugging a brick wall, man. He was just one of those bad, brave, strong dudes that threw down from the Vadio, made the Olympics, and started knocking dudes out from different Vadios across the world. I'm serious, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't care. You offered him to fight, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, he did.
It just, the thing was, he still wasn't there. Same way Lomachenko when he fought Salido. Salido used every little trick. Trinidad caught him low a few times, did those little tricks. And it took away his, what Vargas was able to do.
Did you like Trinidad?
I never seen.
No, he generated a lot of his power from his legs, from his knees, because he'd dip, he'd squat down, and just boom, and turn it.
He had a left hook. Now I'm gonna probably piss off a lot.
And his dad would slap the heck out of him in the corner if he wasn't following direction.
I'm gonna piss off a lot of Puerto Ricans, but Trinidad to me was overrated. Honestly.
Really, you think so?
Oh, he was not the greatest Puerto Rican fighter that people put him up there. Cotto to me is the greatest Puerto Rican fighter.
Yeah, Cotto is good.
Trinidad is overrated. What is his biggest wins? De La Hoya? He didn't beat De La Hoya.
No, he was awarded the fight.
Okay, and then Vargas, he caught Vargas at a very early age. How come he never fought Mosley?
Well, I will say this. In that tournament that he was in and moving all the way up, those were all hand-picked opponents that were by
William Joppy?
by Don King.
William Joppy had already gotten beat by Bernard Hopkins. He fought old, faded Duran.
Well, I wasn't mad when he knocked out Bernard Joppy, because Joppy tried to pull that stunt and fighting Roberto Duran when he was like 58.
Yeah,
bro.
That's what I'm saying. So, but still, it was picked specifically for him. And when he actually fought a real fighter, Hopkins took him to school and then some.
Oh, yeah, Hopkins, yeah, well. But you know what? I was rooting for him, and I know I'm going to probably piss some people off. I was rooting for him when he fought Roy Jones. I was, man.
I knew that wasn't gonna.
No, they fought.
Oh, I know.
They fought after the fact.
Oh, yeah.
But I was rooting for Trinidad.
Yeah, but look at the weight he was at. 170.
Yeah, he didn't put it on too well. He ate some
now.
tacos and some tripas and just said, heck with it.
He trained at the freaking local carniceria that time.
No, he did. He did. I was talking to one of your stablemates, man, not to change it up, but we were talking, and he goes, oh, yeah, Isidro. Yeah, I love Isidro. And gosh, I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna post it. And I said, and he goes, yeah, I'm in camp together with him. And I said, don't let him sneak in no gummy worms. He goes, hey, that fool likes Cheetos too, man. He goes, he loves snacks. That's what he said. And I'll show you the soundbite later who he is. He goes, yeah, he loves snacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. He said, oh yeah, no, that's what's up, man. Hey, you want to talk? No, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to put you on blast, bro. That was a long time ago. Because you discipline your focus now.
Yeah.
But them Cheetos are pretty good sometimes, so I just kind of, put them off to the side.
You gotta throw some lemon on there, though.
Exactly. Some lemon.
Lemon, and then walking home from school, throw some lemon and the melted cheese on there.
The boxing life, man. The boxing life.
That's
the
good.
boxing life. Hey, so what's going on with Blake the Beast, dude? Blake, I'm not putting you on blast, but I do got to ask you a question, my man. Okay, you signed this deal. You're supposed to fight in New York, and then you're saying, I need a fight. Promoters get a hold of me? And then Blake went like this, and he tagged everybody on Facebook in existence and said, bro, you're not my manager, so don't say you're my manager. I'm my manager. And that's what I do like about Blake, and he shows love, man. I mean, he's not a hater, bro. He came up to I saw him at the fight, and he must have read me or knew that I was going through something, or, these haters, you approach him, and he said, keep your head up, man. He said, blank those guys. He goes, keep doing what you're doing, homie. And I didn't have to say a word. It's just, did he read it on me or something or what, man? But I'm rooting for you, my man, but I want to know, when am I going to see you? When am I going to see you fight? Because I was hearing that you're going to fight in Las Vegas. I was even thinking of making that trip up there, my man. So get a hold of me on the down low. Let me know what I can do for you. Let us know what the Fighter's Voice can do for you, man. Because you do have a following. A lot of people follow you, and we'll continue to follow you. But I do love his post, man.
He's good.
Yeah.
I love his post, man.
Looking forward to him coming back.
He's a funny guy, too, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he has a good sense of humor,
videos
too,
are
man.
hilarious, man.
No, I mean, and the man can fight.
Mm-hmm. He's got power.
And see, I didn't even know he started off as a heavyweight.
Yeah. That's what we had talked last time.
There's money in that division too, but a cruiserweight's good. I'd like to see him. You think he can come down to light heavy?
I don't know.
That's a lot of mass to cut. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, look what Roy Jones did. Speaking of Roy Jones, when he came back down, he lost everything.
Yeah, that's Sacramento, and I want to say what's up to Lalo. Lalo, I'm going to send you that information, man. I didn't mean to leave you hanging, bro. It was a long weekend, and thanks for supporting the Fighter's Voice, man. We got it going on, man. Any other news, man?
So far, just really that. Everything's kind of muted by.
I actually like the last part of the show because we just get to kind of freelance and talk about news or what's coming up, as opposed to all the content that we do have, man. So what's happening in Isidro's life, man? When you're not boxing,
Training, spending time with my family.
Stay married to the sport, man. You got a lot of talent, man.
Of course, yeah, I am.
I have to stay in the gym. You got a lot of talent, man. And you know what? You're in the driver's seat now. Remember we talked about that? You're in the driver's seat.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Hey, listen. I'm Rich Ortiz here with the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. We'll continue to bring you the content. We'll continue to, we're going to bring it our way to you. But you, the fans, let us know what you're thinking, man. And don't forget to subscribe and follow us. www. Did I say 3 W's? Yeah. YouTube / The Fighter's Voice. www.thefightersvoice.com. And listen, I'm going to go out and say it right now. We're looking for sales reps and we're looking for interns. And the rest of you guys don't hate. I mean, come on. You don't just buy a house and not buy furniture to put it inside it. We want to put some furniture in our house, man, because our house is going to turn into a nice, cozy, strong mansion. And you know what? The takeover is coming. We'll be going to 209 and taking over that area in Sacramento. So just letting you know what's coming. Again, Rich Ortiz here, your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. I want to thank our guest, ISIDRO Ochoa, 7-0 professional. Get on Instagram, follow him. Hey, if you're looking to sponsor him, get a hold of us. We'll make sure that he gets all the feria and it goes to his camp. Big Mike, always a pleasure, man. Keep bringing that stuff in. And, bro, next time you get a text at 3:30 in the morning, hit me up with that news, bro, okay?
Hey, like I said, I was going to, but I was like, oh, who's this? And then I was like, that's the England person. I was like, let me read this. And I was like,
well, no, hit us up, man. I appreciate you sharing it, man. As always, hey, it's a wrap. Dedicate the show to Richie. I love you, Richie. Thumbs up for Richie.
Never down for the count. It's just another wrap. Thanks for listening to the Fighter's Voice Radio Show. Catch us again next week. Same when, same how. And always stay connected to the Fighter's Voice on social media. So, on behalf of Richard Ortiz, Cole Escovedo, our special guests, and the whole crew right here at the Fighter's Voice Radio Show, saying see ya next week, right here on the Fighter's Voice.